Let's go. You know the frequency, yeah. You know the frequency. Come on, you know the frequency, yeah. You know the frequency. I've been upgrading my frequency. I've been protecting my energy. I've been upgrading my frequency. No matter what, I protect my energy. We off the grid. Yeah. We are back for another episode of the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio. I'm your host, B. Calla, Double D, Derek Demers. We got Edmund in the background. Yeah. And this is the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio.
What's up, gentlemen?
What is going on?
Good, another day in the house. Yeah, Mr. Jasmine today. Hi, Jasmine. I know you're out there.
Jay Black, what up?
Love that girl.
Jay Black is taking care of some business, so she'll be back next show.
Yeah, for sure. Miss her though.
Yeah, we miss her. I miss her fire.
She keeps us in line.
Yeah, she does.
She keeps us in
line.
Does.
I like it. I really do.
She's better.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. It's all right.
So we have a good show tonight. Yes. Talk about some good topics that are trending across the week.
Yeah, good topics. I gotta announce something first. Like I had a dope experience yesterday. I actually went I call her my niece. My cousin Lizzie, who I call my sister. She's my sister, Lizzie Carter, and my brother, one of my best friends, Nate Montero. Their daughter participated in the Miss New Bedford Teen Pageant. All right? And this is her first time doing it, right? And she got third runner-up.
Nice.
Right? I thought she was going to win.
Yeah.
Like, when we took the intermission, I was like, you know something? She got a shot to win this.
Mm-hmm.
And she delivered a spoken word was her talent. And the energy that she did it was very impressive. She's going to be, I want to say she's going to be a sophomore in high school. Or she is a sophomore in high school. And very intelligent woman. Like the personality is, I think that she's going to be Miss New Bedford one time, but at some point.
Yeah.
So what they did was they had Miss Teen New Bedford, and then they also put together Miss New Bedford. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time I ever went to one of these functions. It was actually cool. You know, I could see how tough a pageant could be, where you're constantly being judged.
Yep.
You know, how you speak. You know, your talent. Your energy. You know, you always got to smile. The ins and outs, got to know the dance, the routines and stuff like that. So it was a good experience.
Nice.
So shout out to all the participants out there. But Miss New Bedford team did a good job. Good job.
And the organizers, they got firsthand. That's pretty tough to do. So shout out to them too.
Yes. So how was your week, guys? Did you guys do anything? I know you're working on your bathroom.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going well. I'm doing well. It's only been a couple weeks. I put frost coat on the walls.
Yeah.
Blasted. Yeah. Tubs in, plumbing. Rough plumbing's in. Yeah. It's gotta be nice.
Good. What about you, Charlie?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to lose weight, be sexy like most of you guys in this room here. You know?
I need to get my sexy back too, but you know. Cheers, brother. But yeah, we have a definitely great show today. We're gonna obviously we got to get into this, getting close to what we call Decision 24. Election coming up in November. So we got to talk about the vice president debate that just passed. We're also going to talk about there's a big hurricane that came through our country that we're going to talk about. And then in Diddy news, I mean, there's so much more coming in, and I got some comments all about this Diddy news. And then we have like our question of the day: do women dictate who men want to grow up to be. And I'm gonna play a clip. There's a reason why I decided on this question, just to create some type of conversation. But there's a clip where there's a popular podcaster from the Gilly Wallow show where he was, there's a clip I'm going to play where he goes into detail why, he thinks that. So it'll be an interesting discussion. And also, I ended monologue. Charlie, we have a special ended monologue, right, Charlie?
Yes, I can't wait. I'm do as good as Derek. Tried to do as good as Derek did last week, and I can't wait. That's a good idea, I'm glad you brainstormed that, and it'll be something that we do every week.
Yeah. So we every week we're gonna do an ending monologue.
Did you want the title of it? What's that? Or you want me to wait?
Of what you're gonna do with the ending monologue? What's the title of it?
Term limits.
Term limits.
Yeah.
So all right. So the ending monologue, Charlie. How we do if people are new to the show, or this is something we started a couple of weeks ago. So we do an ending monologue, and where we one of the hosts will pick a topic or something they're passionate about that week, and really just speak on it. And where Charlie loves doing poetry, he is a great poet. He's gonna, for his ending monologue, he is going to recite a poem that he wrote called "Term Limits."
No, it's not a poem.
Not a poem?
Yeah, no.
No, what? What is it?
Because I'm just gonna do pretty much like.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's your ending monologue. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm this.
No, that's
that. But so he's gonna talk about term limits and then monologue, which is gonna be interesting. I know you're gonna come up with a lot of examples and things of that nature, and that's a discussion in itself. But it goes with the end of monologue. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're gonna come back with the frequency report. Ty's gonna give us a couple of things that we're gonna comment on, and then we're gonna get into the news and topics with Double D. So we'll be right back. Just stay with us. A quick commercial break. We gotta pay some bills. You're listening to the Frequency Live on WMV1 Radio. Download the app if you're listening on Facebook, where you can listen to us wherever you are, if it's in the car or the gym, or you're washing dishes or something of the sort. So we'll be right back after this. This is our commercial break. Yes, we are back. You're listening to the Frequency Live on WMV1 Radio. I am a host, B. Carter. Double D.
And Charlie P. What's going on?
And we got Emmett in the background, our program director. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, my people?
All right, before we get started with the frequency report, can you put on the comment of our esteemed co-host? She's saying I talk too much. This is a podcast. You're supposed to talk. You're supposed to talk, Jazz. Just because you got a Glock, you can say anything. Love you, girl. All right. So let's get into the frequency report. What do you have for us today, Charlie? The frequency report. I gotta get some sounds. Hold up. Do I got any sounds for the frequency report? I don't even want to mess with it right now.
Yeah.
Let's get into the frequency report.
Let's see. I wanted kind of given. We're talking about P. Diddy, right? want people to understand the crime of racketeering, right? That's part of the frequency report. Some people don't understand what racketeering is. And what racketeering is, some of the charges in racketeering is extortion, bribery, money laundering, embezzlement, obstruction of justice, conspiracies, murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, sex trafficking, and narcotics. So the reason why I'm saying that is because those are very, very serious crimes. And when you see racketeering, you got to kind of remember the crimes that are usually associated with it. And it's very, very extreme. It's almost the highest levels of crime. And so when you see that, kind of open your eyes and say, this is some serious, serious issue. So racketeering, just wanted you to have an understanding about racketeering.
So racketeering is a form of a crime.
Several crimes.
Several crimes.
Yeah.
So all in one.
Yep.
Okay, so that's racketeering.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my frequency report.
Yeah, so we learned something on the frequency report is racketeering. We need to educate it on how the criminal justice system works and also how the government works. And that's a good segue into make sure I press the right button.
The news with Double D.
So we got to talk about this debate. Okay, I was really looking forward to it. I made sure I was home on Tuesday night. I thought it was great. I thought the debate with the vice president was awesome. Unlike the presidential debate, I feel like the moderators were more fair. I kind of fell a little right down the middle. Some people posted on Facebook on my wall that it was still biased. I didn't really see that so much. I saw them correct Waltz when he when he lied about something. They came back and asked him again, because he didn't really answer it. So they put him to the fire a little bit in that scenario. I thought Wall got out to a little slow start because maybe he was nervous, but they both spoke great, and I thought it was what the people probably wanted out of the presidential canvas. So I thought it was great. I thought they both articulated their thoughts. I don't know that it swayed the needle so much for anyone, but I do think it was a great debate.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's two people that we, their focus was on those two, right? And it wasn't them. It was just a focus on what they feel, how they feel, and I like that because I want to see what they both have said. They both, I want to hear what they both feel about certain issues, and now they're front and center, and there's nobody there behind them, or there's no agenda that they have to focus on. They can basically just throw things out there.
I mean, they were very respectful to each other too. Like, agreed on a couple of things, whatever. And you know what I like about the debate lately is they don't have crowds there.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think that's just like distracting. Like when their candidate says something positive, the cheers or the boos. I think this debate was perfect.
Yeah.
So.
Like when a phone rings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's distracting. I can't believe it.
My opinion is, I totally agree with both of you. That was, can we say, a mature debate?
Yeah, mature. Yeah.
And like more or less, it's almost like that was more presidential. You wish they were the candidate.
That's what I say.
Yeah, right. Waltz looked very nervous.
In the beginning.
He
settled in a little bit.
Yeah. He was very nervous. But I think he did very well.
Yeah.
I also think JD did very well. But at the same time, like they were talking about how they were fact checking him. And I guess part of the rules were the kind of correspondents don't supposed to fact check. But when I guess if he was lying so much about something or it was making things unclear, they felt the need to fact check. What do you feel about that? I like to ask your opinion about something like that. Do you think it's okay for the correspondents to fact check?
I mean, why not? Like when you say fact check, like I just use the example of Wall when he was saying he was in like Taiwan or whatever, and he really wasn't, or whatever, and he lied about that, whatever. So they came back and asked him, well, to clarify because he didn't really. I mean, I'm fine with that in both sides.
Both sides. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like everything fact checking, so like the thing you never get on to the next topic, but every once in a while, I think it's fine to like come back at something.
Like how they were explaining also where they were saying that Haitians were illegal immigrants, where they're not here illegally. Like I think that like I came across on TikTok and like I'm getting tired of social media, but because of the show, but I don't even go on TikTok. My brother's sharing things with me with this Diddy situation, and I go back. I'm only got like 2 friends on TikTok. But anyway, and I came across. I didn't even know that you could do a live show on TikTok. I didn't know you could do that. And I guess in live shows, I came across where it was, normal everyday people. You had Trump supporters. You had Kamala supporters, and they were basically discussing different types of issues. And you see how people don't understand how government works. Like for an example, they were like we're gonna talk about the hurricane relief, where someone was talking about how Biden said that FEMA has no money, right? But people don't understand how it works. Biden hasn't had that control. It's the Congress. And people didn't understand that. So they went into detail of how that works. We'll probably go deep into it when we talk about the hurricane in North Carolina. But I believe that this should be fact checking in these debates, because you don't want them to, make people believe a certain thing. Like we want the facts and then show your policies how you think things are going to be.
I mean, the thing is, the problem with that is I feel like, there's always a spin on whoever side it's on.
Yeah.
Like both of them. Listen, there's always going to be a spin to make them like sound better, doing better, the other one's doing less. And so, the American people, which I feel always take like the suffer about politicians lying and stuff, and the bullshit that they spread.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah, and it's the last impression. So say if something is some issue is the last impression they got on the debate, right? Someone saying something, and that was the last impression they had, and then it would end up being false, but they never came back to like fact check it, and so now they have this false narrative in their head, and they stop talking about it, spreading all over the place, and it's real important that it's real important to fact checking immediately after.
I mean, I do agree with you a little bit, but like the other thing I'm thinking is like people need to like fact check themselves. And
True.
Can't you tell if someone's bullshitting or not?
Yeah.
Sometimes when someone's talking and they're full of shit, can't you just realize, okay, they're full of shit? I don't need anyone to fact check. They're full of shit.
But you're 100% right. I'll give you an example. Not even when it comes to a topic or a side. Let's go by pictures. All right. This is this woman who I deem a grown woman on my social media, a grown woman who I'm assuming is an intelligent, smart woman, right? She posted a picture that was Trump and another gentleman in life jackets walking through waist-high floodwaters. And it was Trump doing it. Now, we both know Trump is not doing that. So during that picture, she said, "That's my president." I was like, I looked at it. I was like, number one, I'm going to question it because I know Trump is not going to do that. Number two, you're looking at the picture and you're like, well, let's look around. This guy has his life been threatened twice and there's no Secret Service around him. That's number two, right? Yeah. So number three, I'm like, so I don't want to assume because maybe he did do that, all right? So I Googled it, right? And what did I see? All throughout the whole Google search there's a fake picture, and they show the same picture. Yeah. This is a fake picture, and then I read in it, and they were saying this is how you can tell. And if you look at the hands are all messed up. Yeah. You can tell how these dark. But yet people are posting this You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the problem with AI now.
Yes.
You don't even know what to believe on the internet.
Yes.
Right?
You don't know what to believe. And so that's why people need to really understand, especially during this time, people got to understand how government works. You just can't just feel like everything is not just black and white. And I get frustrated. I know, like, you see me on comment on Facebook because I get frustrated because people are so into their feelings about what, and you can vote whoever you want, but off of facts, you know. I would rather argue policies, especially so I can learn. You know, like I want I like to push back, so maybe my perspective is wrong. You know, like I'm putting my perspective out there that maybe people could debunk it and I could learn more.
But the thing is too is like with these politicians and these two sides, right?
Yeah.
You know, I share a meme every once in a while. Okay, it's a caption. There's two people. They're looking at it on the ground, and on the ground it's a 6 or a 9.
Yeah.
One person sees it as 6, the other person sees it as 9. So everyone sees things a different way. So
if I see it like 60.
Well, you couldn't see it anywhere you
want.
How
I was seeing it.
But you know what I'm saying? There's always a different point of view. So when these, you know, I have friends on both sides.
Yeah.
Friends that I love dearly. You know, family friends that they're awesome people, and they vote differently than I do. And I'm like, wow, but they're great people. So they see things a little bit different than I do.
And that's why, like, shows like this should exist, to have these conversations where we have different perspectives. You know, because it's almost like when you text somebody, how you intended to mean is probably not how they are, you know, perceiving it.
Right.
You know, and that's why conversations face to face, where you can hear the tone, hear the emotion. You know,
we just had a friend on social media that posted something that caught your eye. Yeah. I know it caught my eye too.
Yeah.
So that's that's the thing where people see things differently.
Yeah.
I felt when I read through the comments, a lot of people were surprised by his post.
Yeah.
Right. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I was like, good for him for
putting it out there,
being brave and saying his peace of mind. But it's like people assume sometimes. Yeah. And it's not the case.
And so because he posted something, and I understand where he was coming from, and it, a lot of the posts, he had a valid point. I was commenting off of someone who responded to his post and what he responded to. He, like, you and I always had a debate where it was like, I know how I felt or how it was when Trump was in office. Now I'm going in because now I'm going into facts. You know, I was like, all right, I was trying to have that conversation. Is like, let's talk about why you felt the way you felt, you know, but that's not what he wanted to focus on. So I respected that. Yeah. But it's like I want to play this, to stay on this vice president debate. I want to play this clip because we as American people, we're not understanding Charlie, and you ran for mayor. So the whole process of the responsibilities of the mayor's office and the city council and their power, and state representatives versus you got different levels of senators and everything like that. People need to understand like how government works so they can make a logical decision, not off of your feelings. Because like I've been saying, like, don't let your feelings be facts, or facts, your feelings are not facts. So like this was a young kid that, I don't know if you saw this on social media, where he was talking about the responsibilities of the vice president. Because everyone is saying now, if you notice, they're not saying the Biden-Harris administration, they're saying Harris-Biden, because they're holding her responsibility, even though she's the vice president. So I just want to play this clip. Please let it come up. Hold on 1 second. I should have had it ready. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Derek, Alberto said that you guys differ. That you guys always differ.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that way about you. I think you're a good dude, and I'm taking up your time.
Well, I think he thinks I'm a good guy, but we differ on.
No, Derek's a great guy. Derek's a great guy. We have a difference of opinion, but I love that.
I mean, we go out to dinner. We're like, we'll go back and forth,
So listen to this.
I won the bet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And that shit was expensive.
Yeah. We went to the Black Whale. He bought me dinner to Black Whale because I won the bet.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to be there.
Oh, that's right. What happened?
Oh, you didn't tell me when you were going.
We'll have to do it again.
All right, hold on.
We have to do it again.
For some reason.
Yeah, that was a big bill.
What? Hold on.
That's the way you do it, Derek.
Yeah.
Right?
Win a bet. Out of state.
I wanted to play this clip, but this clip is not playing. So.
What was the clip? Just talk about it then.
So basically, he was there's a young this young gentleman. He was talking about what the vice president works, how the vice president works. And the vice president, because a lot of people say, oh well, you know, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. She can't do it because she works at the privilege of the president. So that's how it works. That's why he made an example. That's why during the vice president debate, you didn't hear anything about them making any executive decisions, because they can't make executive decisions because they're the vice president. They work at the privilege of the president. So when people say, well, why didn't you do this when you're in office now? Why do you? She doesn't have that power. So it's kind of unfair to really give her the full responsibility. I understand the politics.
Yeah, so the politics, like I said 5 minutes ago, is, you know, the Republican side is gonna like make it sound like it was her administration, right? Because they're trying to win office. I get it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something, okay? Because
Okay.
if Biden wanted the Democrats to win the next election, even though he's sailing off away, right, retirement, if he wanted to win, why wouldn't she drop prices, right? Like if she said, oh, on day one, I'm dropping the price, whatever. Yo, why don't you do it right now? Like if Biden wants you, because if she did that right now, she'd probably be a shoo-in to be elected, right? If she did something significant that everyone's, you know, wants to happen, she would probably be a shoo-in to win the election.
If she said, what, say it again? I missed.
Like if she dropped the prices, she said she's gonna, like, you know, stop doing this stuff, you know, on day one, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Why don't you do it right now?
Because she can't.
I understand that, but my point is, if Biden wanted her to win the election, why wouldn't he allow it? Why wouldn't he be like, yeah, let's do it?
Well, the whole thing is that she, like, this is where, like, what I want to talk about when it comes to this price, because the presidency can't control pricing. Like what food costs, what everything costs, this is what we're going to pay for. It's not going down.
Never, yeah, probably.
It's not going down. Like, and when people think that groceries are going to go down, even if Trump comes in office, let's say Trump in office, if people think that he's good for the economy, the prices are not going down. That is because that's our capitalist system. You know, when corporations have an excuse to raise their prices, they're going to take advantage of that, which we understand because we live in a capitalist system. So once those prices raise, you think these corporations care about the consumer? No, because you're going to have to pay for these products anyway. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got to control inflation and things of that nature, because once it hits the corporations, those prices go up, it can't go down. So that, like, I don't remember her. I think she wants to create policies where, you know, things are like can affect inflation, where prices can come down, but when it comes to products, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Just because she said she was the.
Put it up.
Yeah, so that's another one, right?
Go ahead, put it up. Because she said she was the last one in office in every critical decision.
Like she was proud of some of the things that she did. Like, so, I mean, that's why it is part of her.
Well, I'm sure she had influence.
She voted on some things that like were tied, right? And then
Yeah.
the vice president came in and swayed it one way.
Yeah.
She was proud of making those decisions, which is fine. That's her decision.
But you don't think she's doing that on the privilege of the president?
Well, fine, but you made that choice.
Yeah.
You made that choice.
Yeah. I believe, like, for an example, if you look at gas prices in 2019, which was Trump's last full year in office, versus what gas prices are now, it's similar. It's similar. So I don't know what that means, but it means something.
I don't know what that means. Like, election year, you know, I don't know if that's part of it, but we'll see.
Like that person question that was going back and forth when they were saying, "Oh, it's because election year." Well, how does election year can dictate prices in the economy?
What I always do, I always throw out the election year and wait for the following year, the end of the following year, because now they're implementing things that they were trying to get, or they're at least trying to. The election year is balloons and confetti. They're trying to appeal to the public as much as they can. So I always say, ignore the election. Ignore everything good, bad, and ugly that is going on with your candidate and their politics. But wait until the following year. Wait until 2025, October this year, right? Or next year, rather. Just wait until then, so you can really start seeing, especially when they start voting for things and implementing different things. Wait until that 365 days and say, all right, you should have had more than enough time to get things in order, or at least start things up, and so.
Well, plus when it's a presidential election, obviously, but if the House sways one way or the Senate sways one way, that helps the president make more decisions on policies.
I did one little thing during the election. I had a major outcry about the asphalt of the street on County Street.
Yeah.
Right. County Street, it was an issue, and I bring it up, and that whole street.
Yeah.
I got a lot of votes based on that, and that's several hundred.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I seen it, I acted upon it, I raised the issue, and it started getting fixed. But and that's what they do on the federal level. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They want to fix something.
So is that more of like Congress and city councilmen during election year? Oh, it's easier to get policy passed through because it's election year, versus any other year where everybody's just arguing, butting heads.
Normally, it's normally it's the candidate in office that kind of sways things, right? Mm-hmm. And gets things in order. Whether it's infrastructure in the city or they go ahead and basically get things done. Mm-hmm. Usually with city councils or town selectmen, it takes them a voting process. It takes a little bit longer to get things done. And if the party or the administration may not be in agreement against something done, then it doesn't get done. City council, it's like their powers are kind of restricted a little bit. And sometimes that goes on the federal level too. There's some restrictions. You have to go through a lot of steps to get things passed. But that's just another story.
Let me play this clip. So because now I figure out how to play the clip. Just to add more substance.
To this constant criticism about the vice president not being able, about the vice president being in office for these last, the vice president being in office for all these years and not being able to make the change was the allegation from J.D. Vance. He said to me, I think the high school civics class. What did you think?
Because if anybody took high school civics class, they know what the vice president can do and what the vice president can do. I want to make a quick point. Neither candidate on that stage talked about what executive action they're going to take on day one to do what they want, nor when they ask, because they know that they can't. That's not how the vice presidency works. You don't get to do what you want. You do what the president never did you to do. So that
Marcus is going to be all of our.
And that's what he's saying. She's doing what the president is doing. She may have an influence, but the final decision comes from the president. But also, to get things implemented, it got to go through the branches of government, which is within the Congress. That's why our system, our country is so great, is because of the way our system works. There's not just one person that makes all the decisions. It got to go through the branch of government. It's almost like safety things you got to go through before things can be implemented.
So Trump's not a dictator then.
Trump cannot be, but the way but at the same time, the way he's controlling the court, and it's just these radical, I'm going to call them radical Republicans.
But it goes through. You just said it goes through a bunch of different things.
It does, but then if y'all getting all the power, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's why I'd rather have, like, say if you have a Democratic president, I would like to have a Republican Congress. you know. But at the same time, a type of Congress that's willing to have
the checks and balances,
but willing to work with each other to find a middle ground. Sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we're bipartisan. We definitely all want that, right?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I think we all.
Yeah.
When it comes to making decisions, whether it's a Democratic president or a Republican president, hopefully there's some bipartisan when it comes to passing, you know, when things are getting passed and pushed onto the country.
Yeah.
Can I mention something about the Duke? The young man said something about if you took a civics class, you know, that's the one thing that our school districts don't have is a civics class. But during your senior year, they're going to you. Hey, you got to register. We're going to go down to the auditorium. They're going to register to vote. You're 18 years old. You know, let's do this. And then now that they're registered to vote, who's their teacher about civics, about government? Most likely it's mom and dad at home. It's another adult in their lives that have become the civics teacher. But however, if we had a civics class for maybe juniors and seniors in school, or even lower, because it's very, very important that we understand government. And that would be so, our country would be a whole lot smarter when it comes to these issues that we're talking about, like the debate. A lot of people don't understand it. Even grown adults that, you know, could be my age or older, you know, 57 years old or not, they still don't understand.
They still don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I read that reference to the TikTok live video where you have grown adults calling in, and there's one person that called in, and this is a good segue into the next topic where they were talking about how the hurricane relief works, where you get the hurricane relief, but it was only for low income people. So and there's multiple waves of relief, and the first wave is first $750, and this person, whatever, I don't know where they got that information, it was saying that it was only for low income people. And then a person who actually worked for FEMA went on this live and broke it down. And the host of the show was saying, let me ask you a question. Can anybody apply for this? Or is it for low income? She goes, no, it's not for low income. And she was given, you know, ways to make sure that you do get approved for housing and all that stuff, and how it works if you have insurance, you don't have insurance, and if there's money, there's no money. Like when Biden said that there was no money, you know, but right after he said that, you know, Congress got off of their ass and, you know, approved the bill so FEMA could have money, because they denied the bill 2 times already because they didn't want to give money to Ukraine, and in that bill was disaster relief. And because they denied it, right, FEMA didn't have the money for disaster relief. But then they had no choice but to pass the bill so people in this country can be taken care of. So there was risking people's livelihood off of politics when it came to like.
Well, but why can't the bill just be disaster? Why does the bill always have to be give money to other countries?
A lot of those bills, it's all separate. It's all separate programs. They just put it in one bill. It's not like
but if the bill doesn't pass, then the money doesn't appropriate to FEMA or whatever. Yeah. So why can't a bill just be for the American citizens and not always have to be to other countries?
I honestly,
that's all. I mean,
I don't know, but it's
lobbying. You know.
Yeah, it is.
You're right, that they take the opportunity, and that's why I can't stand politicians at that level. Yeah, I love local politicians. I think their heart's in the right place. They're trying to like do good for the betterment of the citizens of their town and the city. I really do believe that. But I feel like when you get to, you know, senators and you know, presidential candidates, I think there's an agenda. You know, they're getting kickbacks, they're making money. You know what? I don't trust them at all.
And what happens is, right, 1 or 2 of those certain things, like say the disaster relief, that's going to go, right? Now all of a sudden, well, I want something to go too. Let me attach it to it so it can get through also. And that's what happens with 1, 2, 3.
And that's bullshit to me.
It is.
That's bullshit. Like I remember like COVID, COVID funds, whatever, they put like, you know, $25 million to Harvard, you know, some you know what I mean, their library or something.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And that's just bullshit to me. I think people see that and they get frustrated. So I feel like we're clearly in the hurricane talk conversation now. You know, when you have, I saw all over social media, right? People that complain it's only $750 and they're giving, you know, crazy millions. I get it. It frustrates people. You know, there was a part of like illegal immigrants. They get like, you know, they get whatever, you know, free housing, hotels. They get a debit card, $3,000. They get food. They get XYZ. And the hurricane victims, their houses are floating down the streets and they get $750. Yeah. I get that frustration and I get it. You can go apply for more money from FEMA. You can apply for more help and it'll probably be granted to you. But initially, that frustrates people when they only get $750 when, you know, illegals get.
But look at the whole logistics of it, because what those migrants are getting is totally, that's money that is already put aside for that particular program. He goes, then you have, there's supposed to be, you know, a different program, money put away just for this particular situation when it comes to disaster. That it's not like they're taking money away from FEMA to pay for this program. That's not how it works. It's almost like, for an example, I'll put it in a small scale. You get grants from the federal government or for New Bedford, right? For snow removal, right?
Yeah.
And it's to buy, you know, the sand and everything of that nature, right? So now I'll tell you a story where there was one day it was like 50 something degrees, and I'm behind the truck and he's putting down sand. There was no snow coming, but they had to use it.
They'll lose the funds for the next year.
Yeah, they'll lose the funds. So they're wasting this.
And I've always said that's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
That is more bullshit.
It's bullshit. Where you're not using it, why can't you allocate it? It's got to be a system where we didn't get a lot of snow, we have these funds, we're known to get a lot of snow, can't we just bring, so you're wasting money that can be used for other things.
Right.
Because you're worried about losing the grant for the next year that when you may need it. But all right, we didn't get much snow. That's saving money. Let's use this money for something else that we were going to use anyway if it did snow. But no, they did. They just wasted putting sand on the ground so they can justify getting the grant next year. The next year. It's the same thing when it comes to things like these programs. The programs got money put aside, and that's what you got to use it for, and that's only what you can use it for. You can't take that money and go take this money because you didn't use it for another program to fund this program. It doesn't work.
Yeah, can I read a comment?
Yeah, sure.
From Shannon Stone.
Yeah.
The press secretary said in 2022 that they were using FEMA money for illegal immigrants, and now FEMA is broke and only giving U.S. citizens $750. Just wrong. So again, that bothers people and it frustrates people that, you know, forget about like the hurricane and $750. A lot of money goes to illegal immigrants, and a lot of our citizens suffer, whether it's a hurricane, whether they're homeless citizens. I feel like people are bothered by the fact that we give so much money to other countries. And I want to help people too, don't get me wrong. But we give so many billions to other countries. We give so much money, millions to illegal immigrants, yet we have our own people that suffer, whether it's a hurricane, disasters, whether it's homeless people in our cities, what have you.
So I'm gonna comment. So like on a comment on what was her name again? Can you put that comment back up, please? I have agree with her. I agree. So what's $750? But like I said earlier, $750 is the first wave. There's a lot of logistics that goes into this. When you have hurricane relief and a couple of days after the hurricane, nothing has been assessed. You just don't go out and say, all right, here's $300,000, $400,000 to replace your home. And a hurricane just ended 2 days ago.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So $750, let's take the $750 right away to them. So if they have money to get food, if it's pay for hotel or something for now, because there's multiple ways that go through the like everybody thinks this thing just happened now.
No.
There's logistics to it.
I understand what you're saying. But the thing is, $750. I go to Market Basket on Sunday mornings and I spend like $300. Where are you getting like food for a family of four and a hotel room for $750?
True.
So give them $5 grand.
Well, usually what happens is those vouchers, that $750 is an addition, because usually
it's strictly food.
Usually housing is something separate.
You go. They give you an ID number. So you go to that hotel, you give them that ID number, and then the government pays for it. That $750 is not to help you pay for hotels, but $700 is probably just strictly food, your needs, toilet paper, the things of that nature, which I think is enough, at least for a month, or a couple of weeks, depending on the size of the family. And then now you got your essential needs. So now let's work on getting you the insurance and the money that is for you to help you get your life back on track. But there's a lot of logistics when you got all these people, especially when we're talking about the hurricane hit North Carolina and places that never got hurricane. They're in the mountains, and the house is not built to deal with this stuff. And you're trying to get to the people at the same time. You're trying to get people resources. It sucks. It does. It sucks. I don't want people to go through that. It sucks. But things, we're so used to like pressing a button and things, and we getting the information right there. It doesn't work like that. There's logistics to it. Even though we can fly to places to make it quicker, it still takes time to get there. So
a lot of places down there are ground level where there's crawl spaces under the houses and not basements like we're so used to up here. So a lot of times, a lot of things are going to flow away. In the rural areas, So,
but I just feel like, sorry, I just feel like Ukraine. We go to all these countries. We drop Israel. We got our fighter jets or whatever dropping food and shit like that. Why don't we do that in North Carolina? It's been a week. Why can't we send our troops or send the most resources we can to help our people?
I'm right there with you, brother. Especially when you see a lot of people just within our city that's at a smaller scale that are going through some things. Never mind a whole city or town that's going through wanting food. They have they're hungry, they're thirsty. There's so many different things. So I feel you. I mean,
so let me just read a couple of things before we change the subject, just because this is important. It's sad. There's at least 232 people dead, 160 roughly 116 just in North Carolina, because it went through like Florida first, kind of came up, right? So 75 people are still missing. I read on another article I read that 200 people are still missing. So I mean, you got houses like that just get picked up going down the river, So very sad, and unfortunately, there's another hurricane right behind it coming Wednesday, I feel.
Yeah, and what's sad too, you gotta really you cannot politicize natural disasters. Don't politicize it. And I again, I'm against Trump. And when Trump saying that, Biden didn't care, he was on the beach or something like that, but that's not true. I'm gonna tell you, Biden was questioned about that. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Mr. President, Donald Trump has accused both of you of ignoring the
He's lying. Let me get this straight. He's lying. And the governor told him he was lying. The governor told me he was lying. I've spoken to the governor, spent time with him, and he told me he's lying. I don't know why he does this. And the reason I get so angry about it, I don't care about what he says about me, but I care what he communicates to the people that are in need. He implies that we're not doing everything possible. We are. And you spoke to the governor, I assume you heard the Republican governor of Georgia talk about that he was on the phone with me more than once. So it's simply not true. It's irresponsible.
And I don't like being politicized people's pain in natural disasters. Just because he's not talking to the governor of Georgia on TV, showing it on TV and mocking it. And that's, like I said, Trump is a marketing genius. So he's the kind of person that would be like, yeah, okay. Even Trump went there with supplies. He went there supplies and gave out supplies. Do you know what the supplies that he brought? Those supplies that was going there already from another foundation.
But he was there.
But here's the thing. He was there a couple of days before. Think about the logistics again for him to go there, because he got detailed. You're going to slow down the process for things, more important things to get there, just to politicize it. We don't need you there. You know what I'm saying? Because all you're going to do is going to slow down process for products and things to get there to help these people, but you're too busy worrying about saying, I was there. People are not thinking. That's why Biden didn't go there. Biden, what he did was he flew over it. I want to see, all right, I'm not going to go on the ground where there's limited roads to get to the places anyway. And me as a president, I'm going to have this motorcade and all these people, and I'm going to stop production to get these people help as quick as possible. But people are not thinking about that.
But I understand. But people want leadership too. Like people appreciate, leadership going to ground zero.
But perception's not reality, though. Just because I see you over here throwing paper towels, you're not leading. What are you leading? Because it shows, like people, we got to stop. Again, that's marketing. He's a genius. Yeah, it's marketing. That's why I keep on saying he's a marketing genius. You see it, so it makes you feel like he's a real leader. But he's really not. He's actually holding up production to get the supplies to the people who are suffering because he needs to be there. Like, think about if the president came to New Bedford, half of that city would be shut down.
And that's done, throughout the country when those when the vice president, when they come into towns, it just locks things down. I mean, I've seen it firsthand when Biden was coming down 195, and that slowly, that locked down that whole side of it for hours,
Yeah.
Same thing at Logan Airport. When
shut down.
They shut the airport down.
Down.
It's like I was able to get in, but once you're on the tarmac, you get to a certain point where they just shut you down. You either have to you're locked in there until he's where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And he's gone. Other than that, you can't move around.
Yeah, because you got to protect you. So what do you think? Where Trump already had 2 threats of his life, there's going to be extra precautions especially in a disaster area where there's all kinds of spaces that somebody could go and do a third attempt, which you do not want. So again, Trump is a marketing genius. I know what he's doing, he's politicizing it, but that's not leadership in my opinion. It's like I don't see there's no reason to be there. You're not doing anything. And at the end of the day, you're not even the president. You're not even the president. You have no power to do anything.
Just wait for a month.
Okay.
Hey, maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe we have another battle for dinner. Okay, that's what we should do.
Whoa, I think I'm down for that.
That's what we should do.
I'm down for that bet. I'm down for that bet. So again, it was a terrible hurricane, and the sad thing is about it. There's another one coming.
I know. Yeah, so sad. My parents are down in Florida. There's so many people. Yeah.
I hope where are they located?
They're on the East Coast. It's coming from the west side.
It's coming over the whole state.
Whole state's going to get hit.
Yeah,
but it's going right through West Coast, Naples area.
Yeah. So we're in that season. And let me ask you, because do we believe in global warming?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking all of us.
I think it's something. It's someone's premise that has been proven. So I don't think I think it changes. Because most of this planet was ice upon something.
Right.
Sometimes. So something happens. It's more likely, in my eyes, it's more likely that there is global warming, and that's only because it's Mother Nature.
Yeah, so I agree with that because like you said, the ice age, everything was like ice at some point. So it wasn't like that we have cell phone towers. It wasn't that we all this shit all of a sudden. Oh my God. So we shouldn't be drinking out of paper straws to try to save the planet. I think that's bullshit. But I do think that we could. I think we could do a few things here and there to kind of better. But the fact that we're making more hurricanes, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's funny you say. I just want to disagree off 1 second when you come to the paper straws and the paper bags. So wait a minute, we'll go in the supermarket. We're getting meat that's in plastic wrap. We're getting bread that's in plastic. Yeah. We're getting so-and-so's in plastic, but then we can't get plastic bags. What are we doing here?
Look at our cars. Everything in it is plastic.
Yeah.
And then the price has gone up. But I agree. I said the same thing. My savior when I went, when I'm carrying bags was 4 bags on this one, and walk upstairs.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? We could spend some money on another bag with a handle on it from Shaw's, you know, whether it's, I don't know how much they are, but my wife got like 20 of them in the back of the car. So we could put the paper bags in a bag.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll be able to carry it, you know. Unlike, you know, I got flights of stairs to carry it.
That's just bullshit to me. Like, you know, I find that whole thing to be, you know, comical in a sense.
Yeah. And again, it's almost like the conversation we had as a group about the vaccine. It's fluid. It's fluid. Maybe 5 years from now, that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? But it was an attempt for this time because you probably wasn't as educated. And so more and more time goes by, we get educated. Everybody knows we had a group message talking about the vaccine and how it's, you know, how it was.
It got heated.
It got heated, you know, and me and Jazz was going at it, you know, and I got to a point where I said, Jazz, all right, now let's not make no medication.
I had to check out.
Let's not do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're gonna try to get some type of medication, and like I use HIV for an example. When AIDS first came about in 92, well, it was a little bit later than that, but when it really came
with Magic Johnson
epidemic, like people were dying with AIDS. Now, 22 years later, 24 years later, 25 years later, now you can live with it. There's medication to live. They didn't have that because medication evolved. It was fluid. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's all the medication. The COVID vaccine is not going to be the COVID vaccine that we know of, that we saw in 2020 when we see it in 2040. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, the medication is going to evolve. It just so happens the fact that you can't perfect something that didn't exist just yet. So it's going to go through its process. It sucks, but at the same time, it's an attempt to try to save people.
I'll still be unvaccinated.
Okay.
Hey, did you take a picture of that bet that you won at the Black Rail? You guys take a picture?
No.
We should. That's what you did. Yeah, we got to start doing that stuff for the Frequency Live Instagram page, where you can now go follow the Frequency Live Instagram page and Facebook page right now, so you get any info about the Frequency Live show on WMB1 Radio. So we're gonna take a commercial break, and we're gonna come back with a couple of topics. Also, we're gonna talk about the Diddy situation, and also we have our question of the day, and the question is: do women dictate who men want to grow up with? And we're going to explain when we get to that. And we also got a ending monologue that is going to be dictated from Charlie Perry of the Really Charlie podcast and the Frequency Live. So we'll be right back after this. You're listening to the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Yes, we are back. We are back. We are back. You're listening to the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio. I'm your host, B. Carter.
Derek over here.
Charlie P. What's going on? And we got Evan in our program director in the background. Say what's up, my man. Yo. Yeah. All right. So let's get into this. This Diddy situation.
Yeah.
It is getting even more and more crazier. I came up with this clip. If anybody knows this correspondent, Piers Morgan, he used to work for CNN, but now he's from the Europe, I think.
England.
And he has a show, and he had a guest on the show, a person named Jaguar Wright. Now, if anybody knows Jaguar Wright, she was a music artist back in the days, back in the 90s. And for probably the last few years now, even before the Diddy situation, she's been putting out people on blast. You know, what she experienced and what she's seen and what these people in the powers that be in the entertainment business, what they are doing. And she's been saying this for years. And she made a lot of accusations on Piers Morgan. And I wanna play what she has to say. Let me see if this thing pulls up, because this thing has a hard time pulling up. Hold on one second, people. Here we go.
He's got everybody on tape. They all know it.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my first-hand knowledge. It is my first-hand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of, this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about, but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. Warren Higdon. The whole point of this, like Cat Williams said when he sat with Shay Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them in a coordinated effort to pretend like none of it is real for the public's perception. Everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's this Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making Diddies. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically. And Clyde Davis has been his greatest teacher. There's no vindication for me. Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without, or why there's no a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. A response.
What do we think about that, guys?
Who's Sean Carter?
Jay-Z.
Oh, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Oh,
I mean, that's a big allegation.
Big time.
But she said she was there. She was in the trenches too. I mean, she's saying something. Maybe she wants him to say exactly what she's saying. You know, but
I don't trust any. I have a trust problem sometimes. Whether it's like politicians, even like
trust problem all the time.
right, even like
I
people.
trust problem all the time.
Unless I like kind of meet you and like get to know you, I don't know that I necessarily trust you.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just,
Trust is earned, not
trust is
given.
earned. So when I these people, politicians, these people from Hollywood, I mean, this could all be legit to me. I don't know.
well, this is, believe it or not, all the stuff she said is testimonial. So this can be used at any point.
I mean, plus,
time and so she's got to be careful what she says, and I think she is being careful. And at this point, probably she's just going to stand her ground, whether it's with a group or by herself. She's going to stand her ground.
I feel like some of these things that like didn't like and I'm not into this arena as much as you are, Berto, right? Like the hip hop and whatever, but didn't like Eminem rap about Diddy killing Tupac? Is that a thing or no? No. He didn't. Eminem didn't make raps about that.
No.
Okay.
No. Eminem, like where Eminem, he used to talk about killing, like people killing people, him killing people, but in a joking way.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he was that was like, he even made raps about killing his baby mother. Like,
so my point was that when I was saying that, because I think like we've heard through the course of 20 years of little things about P. Diddy, and it's finally coming to fruition. That was my point. Like I feel like we've heard these chirps, but we never took it serious enough.
Yeah.
He has a lot of leverage on a lot of things, a lot of people. So, but now he doesn't have that leverage. And the only reason because all these stories are coming out.
I mean,
and nobody wants to. He's been dropped by, what was he dropped from?
Ciroc.
Yeah, Ciroc liquor, and then it was just Ciroc, and it was a liquor industry, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it was he had a tequila. I think it was Diamond Tequila, and I think this is that particular incident because he sued the maker of that liquor. True. And you got to understand how big these brands are. These are like a powers to be. And I don't know if there's any coincidence. We can add to the conspiracy theory if he challenged the bigwigs and the bigwigs knew this was going on. So okay, like, and I think like this is what I'm saying when we have black men who never had money, right? First generational wealth. Don't understand how to have that money, and like money can fill your ego, where you feel like you're untouchable. And his ego helped create a monster. Which I'm not giving him no excuse. I'm not giving no excuse. I'm just letting you know what my perspective is. Created a monster where he thought he was untouchable. Where he thought he could challenge the powers to be without no consequences, and especially if you're living a lifestyle the way he was living.
They give him millions, but they're giving you millions. So kind of keep that in mind. They're giving Diddy millions as their employee.
Yeah.
Because
like Jaguar Wright, Jaguar Wright said, there's gonna be another Diddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Diddy's not the main culprit. It's just that, you know, the way he moved and everything like that. All right, this is what boom.
Next man up, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a big allegation, like Clive Davis. Like, you know, holy shit, like, so.
That's been a rumor before.
Yeah, some stories about him. Yeah. Some things that he's done.
Yeah.
So it just they never got to this level. But
now my little brother, he talks about this every day, and he brought out a video where basically they were talking about that there is a tape out there of Diddy having sex with an A-list actor.
Really? That
these news outlets like a TMZ are bidding for.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So like I don't know if it's something coming up in the next week or so.
Hey, one just because we're talking about AI, right? I saw one where Diddy was behind LeBron James.
Yeah. Come on. And you know something? It's so funny. I wish I could pull it up. This is material for comedians.
Yeah.
You know, like there was one where like I don't know if I messed up the joke where he was talking about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, right? And he's like 1,000 bottles of baby oil. He goes, you know, all of a sudden he's 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Next thing you know, late night comes, you're in a freak off, right? And you can't get out because there's baby oil everywhere. It's slippery, right? And it's slippery to a point where you're trying to open the door, but you can't turn the knob because it's slipping. It's slipping. And you look behind you, here comes Diddy. He comes Diddy. It's hilarious. I want to bring out this point too. You know, like, all right, he had these freak offs. He's a freak. He's geeky. You know, we all have our kinks or whatever in different levels. And if he was having these types of sex parties, we'll call it. But at the same time, that Playboy Mansion wasn't no innocent type of environment.
Yeah, you Hefner.
Who Hefner? You know, so there's a lot of things that went in that Playboy Mansion that a lot of people said, "Hey, man, that's a different place, man." A lot of things, and all the girls weren't from that particular state where the Playboy Mansion was. They were getting flown in and getting paid for it too. So, you know, that's the same thing too.
But I mean, I don't know what went on in the thing, but I don't know that he was like holding people hostage. Hugh Hefner was. Mm-hmm. You know, I think there's a difference between Hefner and Diddy. My opinion.
There is
significantly
because you know
there's some stories out there.
There's some stories where
documentaries on YouTube.
Yeah. And it so happened it came out when he passed that you know there was things where some women thought that they couldn't leave. You know, I want to bring up a point like. It is a bad point because, but I want to play both sides. I don't want to come off bad, but this is a conversation I think people are afraid to have, and I'm afraid to have it right now.
Clearly,
I'm very afraid to have it, but I just want to again we gotta get all the facts involved. What Diddy did with his influence, his money, it created pain and hurt to other people. He should be accountable 100 million %. All right, I agree. But there's another side to this, okay? Where the women and even the gay men that said that was using it, they were getting flown. That means they were accepting this ticket. They knew what was going on. All right? And they put themselves in this environment, all right? Because it's Diddy, because he's who he is, he has the money, he has the influence. I'm gonna go hang around with this, you know, everybody puts these entertainers on a pedestal, you know? And you're putting yourself in this position. And you're keeping yourself in the position. There's a lot of people who left this place but got flown back out to go back, and you chose to go back, knowing what to expect. You are selling yourself. You know that you are getting paid to have sex. Yes, if the police officers want to stop the sexual trafficking, don't you have to go after both sides, the person that's buying and the person who is selling? If you really want to stop this lifestyle and what's going on.
I view it as like the like a drug dealer. They're going after the drug dealer, not the drug user, right? In a sense, that's how I look at it. They're gonna go after like the big guy making it all happen, as opposed to the guy just coming to the corner and getting something.
So, who is Diddy? Is he the user?
The drug guy, the big drug guy. And then you got people that the users, people getting flown into.
So isn't Diddy the user and these are the sellers? Because where are you getting these people? If where can you find these people if this is what they do on a normal basis? I use it for an example. Deshaun Watson. All right, you know what Deshaun Watson with the massage stuff. Let's really think deep into this. All right. And I always get accused of thinking too deep. It's not that deep, but I really think things are that deep. All right. Deshaun Watson. What he did towards those women was wrong. Totally, 100%, I was wrong. All right? But now you got to really think about, where did he get the idea that it was okay to come at women like this?
Because he was allowed to, in a sense.
Exactly. So, for an example, say, because mind you, he got massage therapists off of Instagram. All right? And he got off of Instagram, and they were insinuating that they may do extra favors. So now who honestly is going to fly in a massage therapist off of Instagram just to give you a massage?
Yeah.
Let's really think about that. Let's just think deep about that. So let me say this. Now I'm sure there's probably legit people who do that. Okay. So you have 10 massage therapists that you fly in, right? 8 of them do sexual favors. 2 of them don't, right?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna get in trouble with those 2 of them, but the 8 are going to slide. Even though they broke the law, they were trafficking themselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we cannot talk about that side. Deshaun Watson should be held accountable 100 million%. But at the same time, like you said, are we going to punish the buyer or the seller to stop this lifestyle that's illegal? Mind you, during this time and I think only males can attest to this, on Instagram, there used to be promotions possible. Girls would randomly just follow you and randomly follow you on Instagram, and they're massage therapists. After the Deshaun Watson case, those things disappeared. You don't get them anymore. So is it because Instagram really went into their system and see this is what people are doing using our system to sell themselves, and they cut it out? Or did the people that's cutting it out stop because now you got eyes on you? You see what I'm saying? It's both sides to this, And I think if the criminal justice system really cares about stopping sex trafficking, you also have to go back at the sellers as much as the buyers. What do you think?
A prosecutor is gonna prove or disapprove consent. So with all this, they have to kind of prove consent on the other part, like P. Diddy and everyone else that was going to his free parties, right? Was it consensual? Someone may say it wasn't consensual, and those are the people that they're latching on. Now, P. Diddy's got to prove that it was consensual, right? That's a lie. He's a hoe, she's a hoe. They're lying, and they got to defend themselves. The key thing is consensual, and what you're talking about, the 8 massage therapists, right? 8 of them consented, 2 didn't. And that's why you have a trial and you go after him. I mean, P. Diddy, you know what? He says he got a list. He's got a list of a lot of people, and that's going to come out. Mm-hmm. That's going to come out where someone like Jay-Z may be coming to the stand and testifying. Someone like Jaguar Wright's going to come to the stand and testify. Mm-hmm. But the title earned is a title given. So if someone's calling you whole, it might be for a reason, whether it's male or female. And I think with P. Diddy, he's you know, excuse my French, but he's a hoe and they're a hoe. It's all going to come out, right? Yeah. So
I mean, I believe that. I believe that when you keep hearing these things over and over again. I mean, you could call people a conspiracy theorist, whatever. A lot of times the shit comes true. Yeah. It's not a conspiracy when it's true. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the Jay-Z thing, I don't know, but I won't be surprised if we start seeing and hearing some things.
Well, they didn't. I mean, do this shot Tupac. It was part of conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
For a long, long time, for years, decades. And then all of a sudden, now it came true. Now they have evidence.
Yeah, right.
And now he's in jail.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, I think a lot of this is going to come true, and then there's going to be a lot of cases that are going to be new cases coming out.
Yeah.
So, but that Olive Davis, that dude.
Clyde Davis.
Yeah.
So do you think that just probably like a hypothetical question, but like if Jay-Z did it, do you think Beyonce knew? Like if he was involved in anything like that, do you think Beyonce knew?
Disney's going around saying that Beyonce was involved, like Diddy was having sex with her. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna speak on that.
Yeah.
Speak on in Thomas' name where, and that's the thing where I also feel at the same time I feel bad for Diddy, and I'm also very disappointed in our Black culture. Reason why I feel bad for Diddy because you went to a point where you're in this mansion. Now you're in this whatever size cell.
Yeah.
And that's a mental. Fuck. They even saying that he's scared to eat because he thinks he's gonna get poisoned. That means there's some higher ups here that there's more going on than what we are seeing. Or what we are being told. And when I say I'm disappointed in our Black culture because we are so worried about getting likes. We are so worried about getting, just attention. So we're making jokes of this. We're implementing people's names that are not even named in this. We're just it's like damn. If you took a picture with Diddy in the last 20 years, it's gonna show up, and you're looking the way he may look in the picture and analyzing this, and it's like, come on, man. Yeah. Like it's like it's you don't see that in any other culture. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's very disappointing where when this comes up, it bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me because it's like we're taking a step forward where we're starting to see our own kind be billionaires. Rock back down. We're taking a step back up, and we are helping it get done to our own people. And I feel like that's disappointing, even though he may deserve it. But at the same time, we have to look at both sides. Even with the Cassie situation, people don't understand that she left Ryan Leslie, who is a good R&B artist and a businessman who went to Harvard University at 15 years old, because at the time Diddy was the big guy, right? And she stood in this relationship and saw things going on for 10 years. Now, am I saying that she's not a victim? No, I'm not. Diddy should get accountable for that too? Hell yes, no question. But again, women are pedestalized.
Yeah,
I can't say that word.
It's a word. What is jazz?
You're putting these people on a pedestal to a point where y'all willing to do anything for them so you can be in the same room as them and do the things they have and have the same lifestyle. And like women, I gotta understand is like, your private parts is power, right? And a man's money is the same power. So it's almost like a transactional type of thing, which is getting to a point where it could deem someone illegal side. So Like, I feel bad for Diddy because going through a mansion and living the lifestyle that he lives, and then now he's in a cell. That's a mindfuck.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. It is, but I don't feel bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't feel bad for someone that like does crazy, heinous stuff, whatever, and you got to read the. You know, I was brought up. You know, you make your bed, you got to lie in it, right? So that's the shit you did. Well, there you go.
So do you feel like you are saying that he's guilty until proven innocent?
No, I mean, I believe in you're innocent until proven guilty. However, I mean, I do the eye test, and he's behind bars. There's all the shit coming out. Okay, he did something. So
he did something. But at the same time, I don't know. But
they don't raid. Listen, the FBI don't raid your house.
True.
For no reason.
So we don't know. So maybe he's in jail for a real reason, and the information not out there. That's the point.
The FBI could have got a bunch of videos from that.
Yeah, so maybe the videos that we have not seen show the fact that he's a detriment to society, which he could not get bail.
Right.
Okay. No, I accept that. I want to have trust and belief in our criminal justice.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I feel for the most part.
What do you think, Tyler? Do you think that's fair how they treat it, especially compared to like other people in that position, where they were able to get bail, at least get like house arrest? You know, like unless there's some type of like a flight risk, because you could just put house arrest and put a cop at, you know what I'm saying, where he can't leave the home. You know what I'm saying?
There's many situations where politicians accused of the same thing, sex trafficking. They're out and about. They're doing a lot of things. There's movie producers, that a lot of them just sit out of jail, and to use a video to say that he's a violent man, I get that, but I think in most of those cases, when it comes with sex trafficking, rape is a violent thing. So if anyone's claiming that they were raped or saying that they were raped, that's violent in itself. So why shouldn't everyone be held?
Right.
They're not. So in his case, I think eventually when they do get to the pretrial, more of the reasoning why he should be released is going to come up. He's probably going to be released into a situation like you said, house arrest. But they're going to hold him for a while, make him think about something, and maybe hold him on ice for a little bit. That's what they're doing right now to see what he comes up with. I think eventually he will be released when the next court date comes up. That's my opinion.
All right, so we're gonna move on. I'm sure this is gonna be an ongoing story for a while. I feel like I said, like if what is true is what the story that my brother sent me, that there's a videotape that's being bid for with Diddy's having sex with an A-list actor. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I just hope it's not Denzel. I love Denzel. Okay.
Nah, I think Denzel's straight. He's a morally righteous man. Come on, man.
Oh, he is?
Well, because I love Denzel. He's my favorite actor.
But there was a video with Denzel cussing him out, saying something.
Yeah. I was joking. I was trying to be funny because I don't want to see any negativity about Denzel.
Yeah. That's my guy too. He's the best actor of all time.
Yeah. I think it's
I got him on speed dial, right?
Yeah.
Get him on the show. Come on. You're the guy behind the scenes. Get him on the show.
Truthfully, I heard it was P. Diddy and Gary Coleman.
What?
Yeah.
I heard.
Can you imagine that? No, I'm only joking.
No, I heard. You probably heard the same thing I heard.
From my man
Winslow.
Yeah, Colin Winslow. Like, come on now, we gotta think about that.
For what?
For Family Matters, like, why? Like, Diddy's gonna try to smash freaking Colin Winslow for Family Matters, yo. Come on, man.
Who told you that?
Let's really think of that. That's out there. It's out there. Come on, man.
Oh, look at all his videos. He did his videos.
Yeah.
Him and all the guys that are hanging out with him. They don't have that profile, that dad body like Kyle Winslow. They don't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. Like, Kyle Winslow.
That's not it.
Come on, man.
What's that sound like?
Maybe he was the dad he always wanted or something. I don't know.
Come on, man.
All right, what's next?
There was a scene. There was a podcast. He was talking to Fat Fab and Jada Kidd. He goes, yo, and talking to Fab, goes, yo, how come you don't party with me? And he goes, and Fab was like, I do party with you. He goes, no, you didn't party. And so everybody turned that around. Like, yeah, party.
Guilty.
Oh man, but all right, let's get into the next topic. I'm sure we'll be talking about more Diddy in the coming weeks. We'll do the question. The question is this: do women dictate who men want to grow up to be? And the reason why I put up this question is because it's a clip that I came up from with Wallow. If you ever listen to the podcast Wallow with Gilly, $1 million worth of game, he had his perspective of this, and it was a lot about in the Black community, but I wanted in general, I want to have a general question, and this is what he had to say, and we'll talk about it on the back end of this clip. Let me pull it up for y'all. I always go to hold on.
Hey, family matters.
Yeah.
I always tell people this. When that guy in the 80s pull up with that Benz, maybe you know what I'm talking about. He had the Benz in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
He had that gold chain on. He got that Fila sweatsuit on with the Filas. He had the rings on, the nugget rings and all that shit. And he pulled up to the neighborhood. He's pulling up to our Black communities to deal with the most beautifulest girl in our neighborhood. And when he pulled up to get her, as he opened in the car door and she get in the car door, you know who's speaking to him? Miss Johnson, Miss Brown, Miss Green. They go, hey, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you seeing Mr. John come back from work. He's a plumber, all dirty, and nobody speaking to him. I'm sitting on the step watching all this shit take place. So I said, damn, I got to be a part of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
In the Black community, the women dictate who the men want to grow up to be based off of who they date.
That's real.
So I'm looking at it like, shit, I'm only seeing these girls, they dealers and dudes that got nice cars. I got to get me some nice cars to get me some ass. I got to get some jewelry, I got to get some fly, I got to get fly. That's what it was about.
And the way you saw to get fly.
That's the only people I see to respect. They only respected the criminals in the game. Because
what do we think about that?
I think it's fact. I think based on the way he's portraying the story or telling this narrative, I mean, what he's saying is true. I think we all sat in the neighborhoods and seen it happen firsthand to a lot of people and how they were perceived. So there's a lot, to me, I gotta agree with him. And in our community, there was always a lot of singles. Huh?
We witnessed that ourselves.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think we could put some names with some people,
yeah.
Friends and family that we know that definitely did it that same exact way, And as far as the Mrs. Browns and all that, we can definitely put names in the neighborhood of who those women were that were kind of doing the same thing.
What do you think, Derek?
Do you think? I mean, do you think this is just in the Black community?
No, I think I think it's a general question. I don't know if it's particular in that sense, but
so I feel the same way because I feel women or people gravitate towards like the bling, the flash, the jewelry, the cars, whatever, the money, right? So I think I totally agree.
Yeah, it's happening. I mean, you could.
But there's different levels of it.
Yeah.
People don't always respect like the construction worker or the mason or whatever, right? But the guy with the bling who's probably poor as fuck, right? Let's just face it, okay? A lot of times the guy with like the bling, they got no money.
Yeah.
It's a show, right? They got the hardworking guy, whatever, has money in the bank, blah blah blah, whatever, modest car. They'll do anything for him. You know what I mean?
You would see a guy that had that 1980s Mercedes and his gold chain, but guess what? He's dropping off the girl and he's going home and living in a room provided by his mother.
The size of Diddy's room.
Yeah.
And that's like I'm going to go deeper into it. I always say this about women because I want people who I do put on pedestal with women, and I'm always being criticized like that when it comes to men. Come to my friends because I had no picture. Because I think women have a big influence in society. Because we as men, majority of things that we do is for women.
Yeah.
You know, women, and you know, even the laws are first to protect women. You know what I'm saying? Like we are taught to put women, like, you know, you don't hit girls. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they ain't saying you don't hit boys. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you don't hit girls. The influence, you know, you when you're successful, because women will give you the status. If you are a successful man and you're by yourself, right? You're not as seen unless you have a beautiful woman beside you. Mm-hmm. She's giving you the status. So that's why it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah. And it's kind of messed up to a point where it's easy to get women when you have a woman beside you.
Yeah.
Because now those other women want you. It's like
you become more attractive.
You become more attractive. Yeah. So women have a big influence in society. They may not. People may not agree, and if you don't agree, please comment.
My thing is this.
Yeah,
I agree with that part. Mm-hmm. But there's also women looking for somebody that has money as well. Gold digging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's different levels to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Different avenues and stuff like that. What's going on? It's not just the drug dealer or bad boy image and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't really go 100% on one.
No, but I think that what women like is what men are going to try to achieve because they validate it. It's like, all right, I'm a millionaire, but it's not validated until I have a certain person by my side.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it's almost like, for an example, if like a certain job, like you say, like a truck driver. Truck drivers make a lot of good money, right? They make real good money. More like they're in the probably top 15% of earnings in the country. And someone who is not as seasoned will look at it and goes, "Oh, you're just a truck driver."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not knowing the money you make, but you see, like what you said, this flashy guy who has all this jewelry, this and that, but he's living in the basement of his mother's house, or he has 2 other roommates. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing like you're not seeing what he has because the job is not flashy. You know what I'm saying? It remind me of It reminded me of this thing I posted. I don't know. Did you see it there? Because I think you didn't like it. Where it talked about being in a relationship with a hardworking man that does like that dirty jobs and everything like that. And like, I don't know, should I recite it? It's kind of long. Yeah. Yeah, and not that long, but what it says is being in a relationship with a hardworking man is not for everyone. This is why some women these days are interested in men with no life perspective. Having a relationship with a hardworking man is to understand that he might not always be available to you. You may think there are times where he will not always seem invested in the relationship, but it's not the case at all. It's quite the opposite. He wakes up every morning and works hard every chance he can to create a stable future for you. You need to understand there will always be days where he will most likely be tired. He'll barely have time to take a shower and give you a kiss on the head to bed to get so much needed sleep to start all over again the first thing in the morning. Do not take this kind of man for granted. He might come off a little rough around the edges because of his dirty call used hands and grease-stained shirt, but this man will love you with a type of love you have never experienced before. So here is to how it goes into admiration. But I mean, and to be honest with you, nowadays, to make good money in a legal way is probably going to get a trade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a man like you, Derek, where y'all remodeling your bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And y'all working hard doing that. People don't see that. It's not flashy. But that's a good man that's able to work hard. And, y'all like, because y'all redoing your bathroom, you have to go down the street to your sister's house to take a shower. And, y'all sacrificing doing those things. But that guy that's on the street that's maybe selling drugs or whatever, and because of that, he has time to give you the attention that they want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not like I'm downplaying women. It's just reality. That's what we're seeing. And and when you see like what Wallow's saying, now I'm a kid on the footsteps, and I'm watching this. I'm watching how women are reacting to this person, and then you get the plumber, the garbage man.
Yeah.
All these hardworking, and they're not getting that same respect.
I know we're generalizing them.
Yeah, we're generalizing. And it's not always.
Yeah, because there are a lot of women that
yes.
respect the hardworking man. You know, they callous hands, that blue collar, like they love that. So definitely like generalizing, but I completely see your point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we see it day in, day out in this community, from general contractors to plumbers, everything that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The fishing industry,
yeah,
men and women going out there for 14 days, coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and when they come back, guess what? They greet with hugs and food and laundry done. They appreciate it. Woman does appreciate that.
Yeah.
So,
mm-hmm.
Hey, I just I like that. I gotta find out who that dude is.
Yeah, Wallow. He has a new book out because he has you can follow him on Instagram, and every morning he comes up with these inspirational talks, and I gotta listen to him more myself, to be honest with you. Like he served time in jail for making bad decisions when he was younger. Yeah, and and I think that because he didn't choose to tell on,
yeah,
that street street code, and he came out and he had a good support system with his cousin Gilly, where they started a podcast that became very successful, and he's using his platform to do good. And he's a motivational speaker. So but he has a good book that I think I want to read also, hear his story. But it's Wallow from $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. So yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' perspective on that. It's women have a big influence in society. And I don't know if you saw that video when they had the camera on these different football players and professionals, and they'll ask him, when did you last talk to your mother? Because I just got the phone. He goes, oh, I just talked to her like an hour ago. And then they're all, hi mom, this and that. I'm about to call her right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, women have a big influence, especially on the males, so they can help the big influence in becoming the man that they're gonna grow up to be.
Right.
It's just what are you paying attention to? What are you showing your kids? That was a good conversation. So we're gonna take one last commercial break, and we're gonna come back with the final thoughts and the ending monologue from Charlie Perry. Y'all listen to the Frequency Live of WMB1 Radio. We'll be right back. Yes, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Yo, listen to the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio. I'm your host, B. Carter.
Double D.
Charlie P.
And it's about that time of the end of the show.
I gotta know. I gotta know. I gotta know. Is this the end?
Yes, this is the end of the Frequency Live for this week. Great show, guys.
Yes, good show.
That was a good show. Good show. A lot of interesting topics. What's your opinion on this show?
Well, I just think that all in all, as society, we have to realize that hurricanes are routine. That's why they have the alphabet, and then every hurricane that comes, they start with A and they go through the whole alphabet, or at least half of it. And that's a set format, you know, A, B, C, D, and this one's Helene, right? Mm-hmm. The next one will be I, you know, and it just goes on and on. They established that because it's a routine occurrence. So what I'm getting at is that there should be a routine amount of money going to FEMA and all those other things for disaster. You know, we know it's a routine. Don't hesitate, quit playing games, just put that money where it belongs so people can get back to home and get back to the lives that they once lived, or at least something towards it. You know, or hurricanes are so routine, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, good show, good topics.
Yeah,
love the discussion, love the back and forth sometimes. So, you know, I'm sure next week we'll be doing it again.
Oh yeah, yeah. Great show. I guess we're gonna talk about as closer we get to an election. The next show we're gonna implement a thing called Decision 24, and we're gonna start talking about individual topics that's leading to what's important that people are paying attention to in these elections.
The top topic.
The top topic. So we'll just focus on that topic, not a broad spectrum of the candidate and what they are supporting. We'll just pick one particular topic that's going to be important in making a decision of this election, and we'll just try to give you as much facts or discussions about it and opinions about it. About that. So we'll call that Decision 24. That's something that we'll implement until election time in November. I want to give also a shout out again to New Bedford, Miss New Bedford team and Miss New Bedford itself. I had a great time going to my niece's first time participating. Shout out to Elena Ray Montero. Did a great job, girl. I think she's a future Harvard graduate. In my opinion, that's her goal. She wants to go to Harvard. She set that goal. And this girl is very intelligent. She did a great job for her first pageant. She got third runner-up. I'm so proud of her. Love you, girl. Keep on doing the hard work. And there's some great parents there, man. Mm-hmm. If I ever have a kid, I want to be parents like Nate and Lindsay. Like a father like Nate, man. I look at him as like, yeah, that's how I want to be. So, and you can see it in his kids, and Godfather to one of his sons, and this is a beautiful family. But again, we'll be doing that stuff with Decision 24. We'll implement in the next show, and what we do also that we add to the show, we do an ending monologue with one of our co-hosts will speak on something that is very dear to them and they really want people to really pay attention to. So it's Charlie's turn to do his ending monologue. I wanna have a, I don't know, is this will work? A different one? Yeah. I don't know, we'll see. It's the ending monologue, and Charlie's up for this week. What do you got for us?
All right, we're going to talk about term limits. Implementing term limits in the United States can bring about significant benefits to the country's political landscape. Here are some compelling reasons why. With term limits, politicians have less time to engage in corrupt activities as they know that their time is limited, and this reduces their influence on Charlie Curry.
Mm.
The term limits allow for fresh faces, new ideas in Congress, reducing the power of career politicians and promoting representation of each state and district. By limiting the time a politician is spent in office, term limits can help reduce partisanship and encourage cooperation across party lines. Term limits can increase voter turnout as elections become more competitive and unpredictable. The new ideas and perspectives by introducing new politicians, limit terms, bring in innovative solutions to long-standing problems. Term limits prevent politicians from making a career out of public office, promoting a citizen legislator ethos. And lastly, with term limits in office, politicians may face in achieving tangible results rather than catering to an extremist views. Term limits help restore citizenship of citizen legislature model envisioning by our founding fathers, where public service is a temporary civic duty, not a lifelong career. That includes President Biden.
Amen.
Amen to that. I believe in term limits and across the board on every branch. All right, I want to thank all our watchers. I want to thank all our listeners. Don't forget, download the WNB1 radio app so you can listen to us everywhere. And don't forget to follow us on IG and Facebook at Frequency Live. And I think this is our third show.
Yeah. We might take next week off.
We might take next week off. We'll see what we're going to do. But again, thanks to all our listeners and our watchers. And we'll be right back next show. I don't know, it'll be like next week or maybe the week after. So have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce.
Okay.